Dr. Hassassian, thank you for taking the time to talk to us on this important day.
Thank you very much for hosting me.
I think this is a conversation that's long overdue and one that we hope to have with you periodically. I wish you...
I appreciate that.
I wish you, and I think many of us wish you a great deal of luck in the days to come. Tell us, please, how the bargaining is going. A year ago, President Obama sounded much more forceful and hopeful. The Russians, of course, have sounded positive and supportive. How is that going?
The Russian has continued to be supportive. They're bolstering our position in the United Nations, and they are for full membership for us in the United Nations. However, the biggest disappointment has been President Obama and the United States. Yesterday's speech was detrimental to our ethos, to our expectations. We did not expect the United States to be hostage and blackmailed, by the Israeli Zionist lobby in the United States, whether AIPAC or the Christian Zionists. But unfortunately, America has been portraying itself not an honest broker for peace, but unequivocally supporting the state of Israel. And we're not expecting, any different positions by tomorrow. Even when there will be a vote in the Security Council, the Americans have been telling us we are going to use the veto power. And that in itself does not give us some confidence to what extent we can trust the Americans as an honest broker for peace in the coming months if we re-engage in political negotiations with the Israeli side.
I wonder if you have sensed a change in the American rhetoric, at least privately, after the Arab Spring. Well, certainly after 9/11, but that's been a while now. But after the Arab Spring, have you sensed the change in the rhetoric, even privately?
Well, I tell you frankly, we are really stunned and baffled by the position of the United States. On one side, they have been praising and hailing, the Arab Spring and inducing people, to get the right for self-determination, for political participation and what have you, and to open, these new avenues of democracy and what have you. And then when it comes to the Palestinians' right for self-determination, which is long overdue, we see obstruction, we see impediments. Nobody is saying that going to the United Nations is in lieu of negotiations. We have never said that. But I think it's a long overdue recognition by the international community. They owe it to us since 1948. And the United States, of course, in the person of President Obama, whether in Cairo or Turkey last year when he gave his speeches, he said we would like to see a full-fledged Palestinian nation state in the United Nations. What happened between then and now, we have seen that he was being blackmailed by the Zionist lobby, let alone that his personal agenda of being re-elected has put it, as a priority over what is happening in the Middle East, and in particular, the boiling tensions that are taking place in the occupied territories.
We know in Armenia that Armenia's place on the American agenda is really a domestic issue and not a foreign policy issue.
Absolutely.
And it's not very different in your situation, is it?
I tell you, I have been saying it time and again, that Israel is a domestic issue in the United States. And the organic relationship between the American Jews through their organizations and through their lobby is a Catholic marriage. There is no divorce there. And that's why we are not that hopeful that the Americans will continue to play an honest broker of peace. That's why we wanted the Europeans to come on board. And one of the attempts of Sarkozy and the Europeans is the fact that if there is any re-engagement in the process in the future, the Europeans should have say-so. They should have a certain political say-so in the peace process and not to be continued monopolized by the United States, where it has been taking one side against the other.
And Turkey, what has Turkey's role been? How helpful has that been? The public rhetoric, of course, is clear.
Well, if you ask me as a Palestinian, I tell you frankly that Turkey is trying to come back as a regional power. And to come back as a regional power, they have several trump cards to play in the region. One of them is the Palestinian card. Actually, of course, Turkey has strained its relation with Israel, not actually because of their position on the Palestinian, as much as you understand their flotilla and what happened basically Turkey is trying to extract an apology from Israel, and things, are not working in that direction. So Turkey also wants to neutralize the Iranian role in the region by being more forceful, with the Islamic countries, by being also, adamantly present in the region as a potential force to reckon with. All these diplomatic moves by the Turks, they have their own political agenda, as you know. As an Armenian, I'm not really that much enthused by the Turks. If they want an apology for 9, Turks who have been killed on the flotilla, we are still waiting an apology for the massacre of 1.5 million people. I think this is also hypocrisy and double standard.
Do the Palestinians, especially the leadership, feel that the Palestinian issue for Turkey is a means or an end?
No, the Palestinian leadership is highly, commending the role of the Turks, because the Turks are taking a tough stand against Israel. They strain the relationship. Of course, the Turks are emerging as a regional power. The Turks are coordinating now, basically, with the Americans about what's going to happen during the Arab Spring, and what would be the situation in Syria post-Assad era, and where are the strings of power there, and they're coordinating, with the Americans, as you know, even with strained relations, with Israel or the United States, they continue to be a strategic ally, whether we like it or not.
I know that you're rushing, and let me ask you two brief questions, if I might. You had said that there will be a Palestinian embassy in Armenia soon?
We're trying. Yes, we have initially started with the Foreign Ministry by sending the High Commissioner of the Fatah group, who was there, invited by the Tashnak Party for the Socialists. But then he came an official visit to the Foreign Ministry, and he went with the Foreign Minister. I was supposed to be with him, but for reasons I could not make it. But my president already has, mandated me to continue the process of coming to Yerevan and to establish, an embassy for the Palestinians, and vice versa. The Armenians are welcome to open their embassy basically in Ramallah. And I'm trying basically to get in touch with the Armenian ambassador here, and maybe straightforward to the Foreign Ministry to find the right time for me to come and meet with them and continue this process. Because there was great reception to the idea by the Armenian government, which the president was very grateful. And since I'm an Armenian and a Palestinian, they thought, this should come through me, and that would be, highly appreciated.
Thank you very much. We wish you the best of luck in the days to come, and I hope you'll give us time again soon.
I'm always available, man, and thank you very much for hosting me.
Thank you.